height speed stability is so good, so amazing, that you feel like you're driving a 15 lakh or 20 lakh rupee cars. You know, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I am doing this drive review of 1.0 Polo MPI engine. I have this Polo Trendline, which is the base variant of Polo, and I am going to drive this car and tell you my experience, how this car is like to drive in terms of power, performance, high speed stability and all. So let's get started. So the very first thing that I want to address is the engine. So how is this 1.0 MPI engine like to drive? So the main question that comes on this MPI engine is that this engine is an underpowered engine. So the short answer to that question is that it is not at all an underpowered engine for the segment in which you are buying this car. So for a segment of 6 lakhs at which Polo Trendline comes, or for a segment of 7 to 7.5 lakhs at which Polo Comfortline comes, this 1.0 MPI engine is not underpowered. It is very much aptly powered for city drives and even adequately powered for the highway drives. I have driven this car at speeds of 100 and 120 and I never felt an issue. During overtakes, yes, you do need to work with gears a little bit. You need to downshift the gears and you can do the overtakes. You can get the required power that is needed for overtakes by downshifting. Of course, when you are driving at a speed of 70 and you are driving it in 5th gear, and that point you want to overtake, press the accelerator hard, the acceleration will not be that good for overtakes. So yes, you do need to downshift the gears to 3rd or 4th and take the required power as you need it. Okay, so for city drives, I hope that you are not buying a car for doing race. If you want to buy a car for racing with other cars, definitely this engine is not for you. But if you don't want to race, you want a normal city drive car or a highway drive car, or basically you want a normal car for a sedate or a relaxed driving, be it highway or be it city. So this is a very good car and it is nowhere underpowered. So all the power is just right there for a normal driving. Now the thing is, what are the other options in this price segment? So in the price segment of 6 lakhs, you can buy a top variant of Hyundai Santro or Maruti WagonR, or you can buy middle variants of Maruti Ignis, or the initial variants of Baleno or Swift, or at a price of 7 to 7.5 lakhs, you can buy the Magna variant of newly launched i20. So basically, the competition of this car, the Trendline or the Comfortline variant, is with the cars which have either the 1.2 liter Kappa engine of Maruti, or 1.2 liter K series engine of Maruti, or 1.2 liter Kappa engine of Hyundai. So comparing this engine to those two engines, 1.2 liter engines, those are 4-cylinder engines. In terms of refinement, in terms of vibration, definitely those two engines are more refined than this one. This engine feels, I can feel vibrations in this engine when the car is idle, but at high speeds I do not feel vibrations at all. In terms of noise, in terms of sound, yes, this engine sounds more than those engines. So those are very silent engines, they are very good in terms of sound, but this engine sounds higher, as this is a 3-cylinder engine. So to give you an exact idea of how it sounds like, this engine actually does not sound like a petrol engine when you rev hard. it actually sounds like a very refined diesel engine. So you get that feeling of diesel engine by the noise that is coming in from the bonnet when you are revving hard, and that sound of diesel engine is like a very refined diesel engine of Ford. That kind of feeling you get. So that is the thing, sound is there. But other than that, in terms of power, you can see me, I am driving in a very sedate manner, and I am not driving very slow and I am not driving very fast. I am just driving at a normal safe speed at which I am supposed to drive in city, or there is not much traffic right now. So I am kind of driving at 40, 50, 60 speeds. So this is very good in terms of power. So basically, if you are trying to buy this car, do not reject this car because this is underpowered, because this is not underpowered. Don't go by the numbers that say that okay, this is 75 bhp on paper and 1000 kg car, so it will be underpowered. It is not. So I tell you how much is the difference of this engine with those 1.2 liter engines of Maruti or Hyundai. So if you try to do a 0 to 100 race sprint, a drag race of this Polo with those cars, definitely those will win, and they will win by a difference of 1 or 2 or 2.5 seconds. That is the only difference. But again, the point is, why are you buying this? Why are you buying a car in this segment? Are you buying it to race? Yes, then go for TSI. Don't buy this one. If you are not buying this for racing, you are buying this for a normal usage, everyday usage, highway or city, everyday usage. This car is very good. There is no logic in comparing things that don't matter, right? That I raced with the Ignis and Ignis won over my Polo. So that is no logic at all. So to answer that question, this engine is not at all underpowered. Now after engine, the next thing that comes is the steering of the car. The steering of this Polo has a very good feedback. So whether you are driving in city or you are driving on the highways, this steering gives you so much feedback and it gives you so much confidence that is not available in any car in this segment. So Maruti Hyundais do not even come close to this Polo when it comes to steering feedback and feel. The communication from tires to your steering that you get in this car is just amazing. I have no other word for it. The only car that comes close to this car in terms of steering feedback is the Ford Freestyle or the Ford Figo. So the steering feedback of both those cars is also very good. So if that is 20, this is 20. So you may like Ford Figo's steering feedback more than Polo, or some may like Polo's steering feedback more than Ford Freestyle, but there is not much difference. So in terms of steering feedback, both are confidence inspiring and both are very good. Now after steering comes the gearbox. So how is the gearbox? Gearbox, I feel it is smooth at sometimes, but sometimes I feel the gears get stuck. Like when I want to shift to first or to fourth or to second, sometimes it gets stuck, but sometimes it just feels okay. So all you need to do is get used to the gearbox. So it is not as smooth as the Maruti's or the Hyundai gearboxes. I will be honest, it is less smooth than those gearboxes. But again, as I said, in terms of engine, what do you want? That gearbox is not a deal breaker. It is still acceptable. It is not as slick as the 6-speed gearbox in the Highline. It is less slick than that gearbox, but it is not bad at all. It gives a very strong feeling when you slot in first gear or second gear. It gives you a very strong and reassuring feeling of shifting those gears, but sometimes the gears get stuck. After gearbox comes the suspension. So in terms of suspension, the suspension tuning is very good. It is a bit on the stiffer side, but it is not too much stiff so that it becomes very uncomfortable. It is very comfortable to drive on highways or in city, and it soaks up the minor bumps very well. If the bumps are minor, if the potholes or the speed breakers are minor, it glides over them, but if they are a bit bigger, you definitely need to slow down. but nowhere in any condition, nowhere in the city or on the highway, you feel that you will ever complain about the suspension of this car. So compare it to any other hatchback, suspension is just amazing. And the added advantage is the suspension is also tuned so nicely on a stiffer side that if you are doing maneuvers, you have to make certain instant maneuvers, or you are driving it in ghats sections where you are doing cornering a lot, where there are curves. This suspension plus steering feel combo will feel so reassuring that you will just love driving this car, and that feeling you can never get in a Hyundai or a Maruti, at least in those i20 or i10 or Ignis or Baleno or Swift, at least not in those cars. You can get the same feeling in Ford Freestyle, but not in those cars. So after steering is good, suspension is good. The last thing that is left is, how is this car to drive at high speeds? How is the high speed stability? The high speed stability is just outstanding. You know, it is not of the standard of a hatchback, it is not of the standard of a sedan, it is just outstanding. High speed stability is so good, so amazing, that you feel like you're driving a 15 lakh or 20 lakh rupee cars. You know, when you're driving it at speeds of 120 or even higher, you never lose confidence. You are always feeling confident driving this car. You can handle any situation while at high speeds. Although I say that never drive above 120 in Indian road conditions. It is never safe to drive above 120, no matter which car you have. Whether you have Mercedes S-Class, I will say don't drive above 120 because it is unsafe. The road conditions are not that great, and even the speed limit is 120. There is no road where the speed limit is above 120 in India. So that is the case. So my final verdict is, this car is just amazing to drive. There is no problem. I mean, there is no such thing as deal breaker in terms of engine, drive and handling of this car. I mean, I enjoy so much driving this car. I also have an i20, but I enjoy driving a Polo a lot more than an i20 or an Ignis. So if you are planning to buy a car in this segment and Polo is on your list, my only suggestion to you is, do not reject this car because of this fake notion of underpowered. Okay, so there is no such thing as underpowered in this car. You want to reject Polo, it is okay to reject Polo in terms of the interior space or the ride height. If you're looking for a car where you feel like you're driving, you're sitting at a certain height in the car, you kind of want to get that SUV-ish feeling, that you will not get inside this Polo, because this is such a low rise car. It is probably one of the lowest cars that you will see on Indian roads today. I mean, when I am driving, every car that goes from my side, I always feel that I am sitting lower than every other car on the road. It is so low. Even the latest generation Alto, sitting in that Alto feels a bit higher than this Polo, but I enjoy that feeling. You know, I don't know about you, what do you want? If you want that kind of feeling where you're sitting at a higher position above the ground, then you can reject Polo, or you can reject Polo if you don't like the interior space. So interior space was very much okay for me. It was not at all a deal breaker for me when I bought this car. But for your use case, for your family, just go and check out the interior space. Just go and check out your family members, are they above 6 feet and they are not comfortable sitting inside the Polo, then you can definitely reject it. But if all the members in your family are like 5'6", 5'8", or one member is 6, then you can definitely buy Polo. So just do not reject it on the basis of underpowered. You can reject it on the basis of interior space or the ride height. But in this price segment, I also want to suggest you that do not reject this car on the basis of lack of features, because there are no lack of features. Even in the base variant, you get all the safety features: steering height adjust, driver seat height adjust, airbags, ABS. Nowadays every car is getting ABS airbags, but when you drive this Polo, the reassuring feeling that you get from the brakes is just amazing. It's just class apart. No other car give you that feeling of confidence inspiring in terms of braking, in terms of high speed stability that Polo gives. So it is just an amazing and safe car. 4-star global NCAP rating, body structure rated as stable, so no issues on that part. So that was all my experience about this car. If you have any more questions, do let me know in the comment section, and you will also have my WhatsApp number in the description of this video. Thank you so much.